back to my channel. Today, we are just gonna dive straight into it. And as you can see by the title, we are talking about giving up caffeine, what that looks like, what that means, why did I do it, and how am I coping without it. It's been about a month since I've given it up, so it's not been a significant amount of time. I gave up coffee for about a year and noticed some improvements. Really, the root of it was caffeine. Whether it was black tea, whether it was green tea, the root source was really giving up that caffeine. So why did I give up caffeine? First of all, I deal with chronic anxiety. I think so many of us do. There's obviously physical stressors, emotional stressors that blow it out of proportion. Having caffeine with anxiety, it just doesn't mix. I remember I had a girlfriend, her therapist told her, if you don't give up the coffee, I'm not going to continue working. I don't know if it was that extreme, but that's what she told me. There is some truth to that. That's a major factor that is increasing the amount of anxiety. What I first did was switch to decaf coffee because I loved the comfort and the taste and the smell of having coffee. So that shift really helped. There still was more residual anxiety lingering, and my husband brought up a good point. It's not just affecting me, it's affecting others around me because I might just reserve myself or come into a shell because I feel uncomfortable, with this anxiety and feelings and emotions that I feel. And so I'm not giving my authentic self to him or to others. So I think once he could put it in that perspective, it made a lot of sense. And I guess a better way to explain it for some is, if you have that friend that gets hangry, and that doesn't just affect them, that affects everybody else around. They're either short or they're just snappy, but if they just had a little bit of food in their system, they wouldn't have that reaction. Once I was able to kind of shift and look at it in that mindset, that really helped. I know my husband and I are married, but we're actually planning we had a COVID very intimate wedding, just siblings and parents. Now we are going to have the more official wedding. We're planning a wedding. He's in his master's program. I'm working full-time job. We might have to move in a month. COVID, all these different factors. And so adding the caffeine didn't really help the situation. This leads me to, how am I sustaining this? How do I stay energized? How do I not crash? First thing and foremost, quality sleep. That is humongous. I prioritize that more than anything, and I'm very fortunate to have a flexible schedule. I more than likely get 8+ hours of sleep a night. I know that down the road when babies are in the picture, that will not be the case. But right now I get really good sleep, so I'm very fortunate for that. Another thing, I exercise very regularly, but I also have an infrared sauna, which I will, actually let me just show you real quick. It is a solo one, so I don't know if you can see it, but you go in there. Sorry, my dogs are in the background. You go in there and then close this, and then there's a curtain that goes. So it is an infrared sauna. It's amazing. It detoxifies from the inside out. So on a cellular level, it's good for so many things. I believe I read it's the #1 anti-aging treatment you can do. And so I try to do that very regularly, especially if there's days that I don't work out, I will make sure to do that. Also another, and this is more of a mindset shift, learning that if I'm tired doesn't mean, okay, let me go for a coffee so I can have energy so I can do more. Learning that I'm tired means it's time to chill and remove all the different stimulation and just relax for a second. Doesn't mean be lazy, but we live in a society that's go, do, and that's how we end up with burnout. We have a consistent amount of energy. Now, granted, if you eat poor food, you don't get quality sleep, and a number of different factors, your energy is going to significantly take. If you're doing all the different components and you have little dips in the energy, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just maybe time to cool off and turn off the music, sit in some solitude and relax. One of the most exciting things that I love, and I'm really happy with this shift, is when you're shifting away from coffee. Green tea is not the answer. One, there's still caffeine in there, but a lot of people say, oh, we'll switch to green tea. But the flavors are so different. That's like saying, I like chocolate cake and I need to give that up, but let me go have this lemon tart. It's completely different. That's why I always switch to decaf coffee. When I was even trying to get away from coffee, I would do things like tea-chino or black tea, which I do like black tea, but it's still, I need to get rid of the caffeine. So one thing I've been doing is making hot chocolate tonics. I can also make iced versions of this as well, so when it's really hot out. I'll show you what I put in it. The first thing, you can kind of get any brand. I do a hot chocolate drink mix. I have done like regular cocoa powder. It's little bitter, but there's a brand I get from Sprouts. This one is the first time I'm trying this one out. The other one is sweetened with monk fruit. It's cocoa powder, stevia, natural flavor flavor. Like, it's not perfect, but for 2 tablespoons, it's 10 calories, 4 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, so 3 net carbs, and 1 gram of protein. It blends really well. I only use a little bit of it. Sugar-free, free from artificial sweeteners, keto-friendly, plant-based, gluten-free, and organic. I use this, and I usually will get a glass and put a little bit of hot water in there. I'll add 2 to 3 teaspoons of this. Then, depending on the time of day, if I just ate breakfast, if not, I will add chocolate collagen peptides just to give a boost of the collagen to help with my protein levels. I've been having a weird aversion to meat and animal-based products. I'm not vegan. I was for 3 years a while back, and I was raw vegan, which is crazy. But not crazy, it was just crazy that was a time in my life. But lately I've just been having a weird aversion to eating animal-based foods, so I actually need to get other sources of protein, so this has been super helpful. And then as far as for the energy component, there's a variety of things. So Four Sigmatic has a bunch of mushroom packets that are very helpful and functioning for the body. This one is cordyceps. So cordyceps is great for boosting energy, but it's also incredible for boosting oxygen uptake. I like to do this one as a pre-workout to increase the amount of oxygen within my lungs. Maca powder is also really nice. It has some of a nutty taste. I read once before that gelatinized maca is a little bit easier to absorb, but honestly, I think you can do any maca. But maca is really great for energy and vitality. However, something to note, it very much helps with libido. Just make sure to start at a smaller dose because you will see that boost, which once again could be a good thing. So maca is really helpful for that. And then lastly, which is one of my favorites, is lion's mane. So lion's mane is great for the brain. So kind of rhymes, lion's mane, brain. Great for memory, great for focus. Last one is we have vanilla stevia. So you could do a regular stevia, I just do a few drops. What I do is I have a glass jar, hot water, put all that in, mix it up until everything's combined. Then I fill the rest up with hot water, and then I add a little bit of cold almond milk. Honestly, in the past, I've done it with all almond milk and then mixed it up together, which is delicious. It's like a almond milk mocha, but a caffeine-free one. It was just a bit more time consuming. Water seemed efficient and it worked. And it was way easier to do that on a regular basis. Love these. I will link them down in the description below, but I'm really happy with this because I'm still having that warm, comforting cup of liquid or life in the morning, and I can also do the ice version in the afternoon and evening. And to be honest, you're not getting really any sugar in this. 4 grams of carbs in the maca, and you get 4 grams in this chocolate powder, but it's still basic, and I don't really check my carbs that much anymore. So that's something that I really like. And one thing that I'll create another video on as well is talking about the adrenal glands. So when people talk about burnout or tired but wired or just overly anxious, a lot of it comes back to adrenal issues and adrenal fatigue. And so just to like add in a little bit, you know you have adrenal issues when you're tired but wired. You carry belly fat around the stomach. You wake up and you're exhausted. Midday or even nighttime, you might get a burst of energy. That's a big common symptom of adrenal issues. And this is what affects your adrenals. So just think if you deal with a few of these. Sorry, fly. Drinking caffeine, not sleeping enough, overwork, overtraining, undereating. Maybe that's nutrient-dense foods, or maybe it's just food in general. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you lost a parent. Maybe you got in a car accident. Maybe somebody recently passed. This stuff could have happened recently, but it also could happen 5-10 years ago. So imagine your adrenals as this wet rag. Every time you do one of those, you start squeezing this rag. At the end of the day, you end up with this rock solid rag that's supposed to produce these hormones that are nourishing your body, reducing your stress, balancing out your blood pressure and metabolism. Not a chance is that going to be happening because your adrenals are so burnt out. You're burning the candle at both ends. You're creating new ends to burn the candle out, and your body can't take it anymore. And we live in this society where it's, I don't sleep enough, so I drink caffeine. I'm not skinny enough, so I overtrain and I undereat. And it's just this cyclical pattern that we're constantly burning our adrenals, but never doing anything to nourish them. So B vitamins and adaptogenic herbs are really nourishing for the adrenals, but giving up caffeine is hugely related and beneficial to nourishing your adrenals. So I will do another video in the future really breaking down adrenals, where they're located on the body, how are you affected, if for instance you do have adrenal issues and what that might look like for you. I think whether you have issues with caffeine or not, you will benefit and absolutely love this hot chocolate tonic, and I highly recommend you try it. I'd also love if you could like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below what kind of videos you might be interested in looking at. All right guys, take care.